request Mr. Praveen Kumar Agarwal to please come on stage. Mr. Agarwal is the former Director and Chief Information Security Officer of Power System Corporation Limited, an accomplished power system professional with 41 years of experience in diverse areas of power sector.
So I think we are not using that digitalization in this conference. So first let me deal about this digitization and digitalization. Though it may not be a very big thing, but I have seen that even a very good, very big consultancy firms, I have seen their advertisement with the confusion of digitization. So digitization, if we see, it is converting documents or data to a computer system. So basically we are putting all the records in a computer systems. So that is called digitization. Basically we are only putting data in a computer, we are not utilizing. And then digitalization, if we see that, it's transforming business process to a digital process. So if we are putting all the complete process and then using every part of that process as a digital things, then it is called digitalization. So first level was the digitization. We started putting all the records in the computer and managing that records through the computer. But now we are getting all the sensors, everything from the process, so it becomes a digital. And if we see the digital, how it started, it's utility automation. So first automation started in a silos manner in a utility. Then a smart utility becomes more integration, and the hyper integration becomes the digital utilities. So all process and all the sensors, if it's smart sensor and IoT's use of that IoT, everything becomes a digitalization or digital utilities. Active communication network is very essential for this, because you should have the communication, and then interactive resources and interactive consumers. So all should be interactive. So they are two-way communication. Next slide. So what are the key drivers for digital technology? So utility has to adopt these technologies. These are the two key drivers: decarbonization and decentralization. If we see the decarbonization, it is a more of renewable energies, clean energy, and then bit for having less carbon footprints and less reducing all the indicator. Yes, okay. So energy efficiency, again that's so all this, whatever we can do, that decarbonization, and then when we are going for more renewable energies, more inverter connected energy, then we are also we have to manage, we can manage these inverters through remote and have very good ancillary services. So that also utility has to be digitalized. And then decentralization. So decentralization is again that distributed energy resources. So when you are having small resources, rooftop solars, if a grid operator want to utilize all these things, then he has to have a digital things or IT systems. So like virtual power plants, which is a pure IT system managing so many granular resources and then giving services to grid operator. So these are the two main drivers, and for managing both the things we need digitalization. We use of IT equipments, automation, and then sensing. And again, this Digital India program of Government of India is a catalyst for this digital utility, because they have paved the way, they have paved the platform, like digital payments, internet, mobility. So all these are required, all these are the parts of digital utility. And so there are 9 things. And electronics manufacturing, again, if electronics are manufactured in India, then it is cheaper than the imported one. information for all, universal access to mobile connectivity, because everything is available now on application on mobile phones. Public internet access, because internet is the only last mile connectivity which is used by everyone and which is cheaper also. So what question is that is digital utility is only for utility or their benefit. So I want to make a statement here that utilities, digital utilization or digitalization of utilities are not only for the digital utility, but it is for the regions. So north region, south region. It is also for is also for country, and then again is also for international regions, like developing regional market. So if you are developing regional market, then you require all these digital things to exchange data and everything. So what we require some basic things for this, and that is my topic of my presentation, my keynote. That what are the things we require, what are the available things which we need for leveraging all the digitalization of utilities to regions, country and international regions. But there should be three things. Single truth of data. So throughout my service life, I have seen that data is being punched from different points. So first thing is the source of data, and the source of data has been punched. Then when it is not accessible to some persons, then they will get some data through phone, and then there will be an error. So ultimately, the data integrity lost. So there should be some platform at India level or regional level where this data is available which the data is being shared is available, and the source of data is the controller of data, which is putting that data on that platform and available to all. So then the data will be having a full integrity that this is the actual data. Ease of sharing. Ease of sharing is again important. If you have so much information and you are not sharing, you might not be sharing your data which is confidential to your utility, but you should share that data which is useful for all, useful at country level or regional level. Then it should be cyber secure sharing. So what is existing? These many things are still existing, and it is being not being utilized fully. So one is if you see the government open data, there is an open data platform which is called opendata.gov.in, and this is very good platform, and it depends. It is after effect of the open data on international level. There is open data organization international level, and here all utilities are supposed to publish their public data and update regularly. But I have seen, I am following this open data platform many years. I have not seen that this data is available, updated data is available. Yesterday only that I see that power and energy, and it was showing that all the demand data and all the data will be available here, but I could not find this data. So this platform is already there, and then you can develop your API, and through API you can get this data whenever it is updated there. So this is existing, but it should be utilized fully. Then data availability. So data availability is there is a national data sharing and accessibility policy of 2012, which tells which data can be shared from the government organization. It doesn't deal with the private organization, but private organizations are always at liberty. So they can use their private data, public data, whenever they feel that it is beneficial for India or for the group at large. And CA also is responsible for dissemination of data. collecting data from different places and then publishing the records. So again, then they are putting records in PDF form and but it is not available online so that it can be useful. I know that when India gone for RE energy in big way, there was many developers came for the development of forecasting and RE forecasting software. So for this, they required demand data of last 5 years to tune their data, and it was not available anywhere. And I tried many times. I tried that this data should be made public, but is very difficult based upon the present guidelines. And ultimately, I could not publish that data to public. And then cyber security. Cyber security, we have certain. We have national cyber security policy, which is of 2013, and it is being upgraded, but still not, that updated policy still has not come. Certain is for enhancing security of India system. NCIPC is specifically for critical infrastructure. And then again from regulations. So there are regulation on communication system in power sector. I think most of you might not be knowing that there is regulation, and each utility has to provide communication and data to RLDC or control centers. So again here, unawareness of is there. CA also have published a cybersecurity guidelines, which was mandated in communication regulation of CERC. And then IEC also have IGC's electricity grid code, which is like a Bible for system operator, for the grid operator. And it also has a clause 4.6.4, which clearly tells that each utility which is connecting to the grid. So all the utilities are connected to the grid. Without grid, they cannot do anything. So they have to provide all the data required for the operation. So these are the framework already there, but we are not utilizing. We are only, generally we are concentrated to the inside of utilities. And then again, the BIS has a guideline on SCADA display guidelines, which is recently was being published, and it gives how this display should be seen with different colors and all different colors and symbols. And then there's a naming convention is under progress. So, and I am a convener of these groups, and this naming convention, again, I am telling that it will be very useful. In the next slide, I will show you. So as I visioned before this, there should be a master data registry. So master data is the data which is used by all the utilities. And then it's required for sharing. If we want to share the data between utilities, then we should have that. We should refer that master data. What is the name of substation? So it should have the name of asset. Asset means it may be a substation, it may be a transformer, it may be a power plant, it may be a generating unit. So presently you see that each substation has different name. Somebody is giving 400 kV, somebody is telling the name of that locality. So there is no unique name. And this is the main problem, that we are not able to exchange data between different utilities. And if we are exchanging, and this is generally error prone, because one utility might be naming that asset with the name. Other utility might be mentioning that asset with different name. So then mapping is required, or it depends upon the person who is exchanging data, what his name. So my proposal is that we should standardize naming convention, and then name each and every asset of power sector which is connected to the grid, and create a centralized registry from which through API one can validate that this is the name of the substation, and everyone should use that name of that asset. And then development of common information model. So I started this common developing CIM, I think in 2012. But still, because of naming convention, because of incompatibility between vendors, because that, like SCADA vendors tell that no, we are compatible to the SIM version 13 or version 15. Even then, we have seen that we are not able to integrate data from one SCADA to other SCADA. And the one culprit is that we don't have the similar name, because if names are not same, so if one asset CIM mention one asset in different SCADA system, then it will be a different name in different asset. So then they will not exchange the data. So these are the two things which we required at India level. And then if we are going for a regional market, then we require for regional level. And people are doing, and countries are doing that. ENT SOE is already done this 10 years before, and they are smoothly operating regional market. So this is very, very much required for the Indian market and regional market. So this is all from me. If you have any question, we can take, otherwise we can discuss offline also.